There was a time when the future felt close enough to touch. The 1970s were filled with promise. Jet-age dreams, moon landings, and cars that looked like they came straight from a sci-fi movie. Automakers weren't just building cars, they were building visions of tomorrow. But not every vision made it past the showroom floor. Some of these cars were too bold, too strange, or just too far ahead of their time. Today, we're looking back at 10 cars from the 1970s that were supposed to be the future, and why they never quite got there. Number 1, the AMC Pacer, the car of the future today. In 1975, AMC called the Pacer the first wide small car. And they weren't kidding. With its bubble-like shape and massive glass windows, the Pacer looked like something out of the Jetsons. It was designed to feel futuristic inside and out, compact but roomy, and ready for a new kind of driving world. People either loved it or laughed at it. The Pacer became an icon, but mostly for its odd looks. When gas prices soared and taste changed, AMC couldn't keep up. Still, the Pacer remains a smiling symbol of 70s optimism, the little car that dreamed big. Number 2, the DeLorean DMC-12, a stainless steel dream. Few cars capture the imagination like the DeLorean. Designed by John DeLorean, it was built from brushed stainless steel with doors that open like a falcon's wings. It looked like tomorrow had finally arrived. But behind the shine was trouble, delays, money problems, and a lack of power under the hood. By the time production started in 1981, the dream had already faded. Still, thanks to Back to the Future, the DMC-12 lives on as a time machine for an era that believed in possibilities. Number 3, the Citroën SM, luxury meets space age. When the Citroën SM hit the streets in 1970, it looked like nothing else on the road. Long, low, and smooth as glass, it was a spaceship wearing a license plate. Inside, it offered hydraulic steering and headlights that turned with the wheels. Pure magic for the time. But the US emissions laws and the 1973 oil crisis crushed its future. Citroën pulled out of America and the SM drifted into legend, a French dream that never quite landed. Number 4, the Bricklin SV1, the safe sports car. Safety and speed don't usually go together, but the Bricklin tried to change that. Built in Canada in 1974, the SV1, or Safety Vehicle 1, featured gull-wing doors, energy-absorbing bumpers, and a bright fiberglass body. It was bold, it was different, and it was supposed to be safer than anything else on the road. But those doors jammed, the company ran out of money, and production ended in less than 2 years. Today, the Bricklin is a forgotten chapter in the story of one man's big, bright dream. Number 5, the BMW Turbo concept, the one that started it all. Unveiled in 1972, the BMW Turbo was a concept car built for the Munich Olympics, and it looked like something from another planet. It featured gull-wing doors, radar-based safety systems, and an early form of crumple zones. It was never meant for mass production, but its DNA lived on in later BMWs, especially the iconic M1. The Turbo showed that the future wasn't about fantasy. It was about technology that could keep you safe and make your heart race. Number 6, the Lancia Stratos, born to win. The Stratos looked like a UFO, but it was born for rally racing. With its wedge shape and Ferrari engine, it dominated the World Rally Championship in the mid-70s. It was small, twitchy, and terrifyingly fast. A car built purely for performance. But once racing rules changed, its purpose vanished. Today, the Stratos stands as a reminder of when the future meant speed, courage, and a little bit of madness. Number 7. The Lotus Esprit, a car that went underwater. When James Bond drove his Lotus Esprit into the ocean in The Spy Who Loved Me, audiences gasped. Here was a car that wasn't just fast, it could turn into a submarine. The real Esprit couldn't quite do that, but it was a lightweight, mid-engine marvel that looked like a fighter jet for the road. Lotus kept refining it through the years, but the 70s version remains the purest, a car that blurred the line between fantasy and reality. Number 8, the Ford Nucleon, the atomic car. Now, this one never made it to the roads, but it deserves a spot for sheer imagination. The Ford Nucleon was a 1950s concept that carried into the 70s mindset, a car powered by nuclear energy. No gas, no pollution, just atomic power in your driveway. Of course, once scientists did the math, it became clear it was more dangerous than dreamy. Still, it captures the fearless spirit of the era, when even the atoms seemed like fair game for the American road. Number 9. The Aston Martin Lagonda, the digital luxury. When Aston Martin revealed the Lagonda in 1976, it looked like luxury had gone electronic. It featured touch-sensitive controls and an LED digital dashboard, unheard of at the time. But those systems were fragile, expensive, and often broke before you got home from the dealership. Even so, the Lagonda made a statement. The future of luxury wasn't wood and leather. It was lights, screens, and innovation. Number 10. The Volkswagen SP2, Brazil's hidden treasure. Built in Brazil and rarely seen elsewhere, the SP2 was Volkswagen's sleek sports coupe for the South American market. It had flowing lines, a rare engine, and a futuristic style that looked ready for takeoff. Unfortunately, its engine was slow, and by the late 70s, the world was moving towards more efficient modern cars. But the SP2 has become a collector's dream, proof that even the forgotten corners of the 70s were reaching for the stars. The 1970s gave us more than just wild designs. They gave us imagination. These cars weren't perfect, but they were bold. They dared to ask, what if? And even though the future turned out differently than we thought, it's fun to look back and remember when we believed the world and the road could become anything. If you enjoyed this trip through time, give this video a thumbs up, share it with a fellow car lover, and subscribe for more stories from the golden age of innovation. Because sometimes looking back reminds us just how exciting the future once felt.